Good evening, everyone. It is Saturday, March 22nd. Hopefully, you're all doing well and enjoying the start of spring. It's okay to be a hard worker at your main job. Now, if you go on YouTube, Instagram, or other social media platforms, you're going to see a lot of people besmirching the 9 to 5 grind. Now, these videos might have some merit, but in general, there's also a lot of benefits to being a hard worker as well. Before we get into it, we have to determine what type of work environments are conducive to hard work. So this is really going to be dependent on your job. For example, looking back at my own work history, when I worked in the trades, this would often look like if you had a full day's work schedule at a job site, but you finished it early, you would get to go home early, but still retain that full day's pay. When I was doing shift work, this looked like a more stable schedule going forward, and sometimes you'd have the ability to make overtime. Now in sales, this is more commission and or performance bonuses throughout the year. Now, if you are a hard worker and you are in a work environment that is not conducive to hard work, this is going to be a problem in the long term. Maybe in the short term, you can try quiet quitting, and over time, this is going to start to wear on you and perhaps even influence your mental health. So just be aware. Now, let's say you found that work environment and you're really happy. Number one reason to work hard is, you're probably going to make some more money. So congrats. Whether you're putting that money towards paying off debt, building emergency funds, saving up for that vacation, or maybe just simply taking out that cute girl on a Saturday night date, you've earned the right to enjoy your money. So be happy for yourself. And then this leads into point number 2. There's nothing wrong with wanting job security. Now, maybe we can't control the macroeconomic environment. We can't control industry trends and or mass layoffs at the head office level. But what we can do is influence the input of our work efforts going into that job. Now, this isn't foolproof, and we shouldn't rely just on hard work to protect our long-term finances. This is why having an emergency fund is so important. I keep reiterating it in all my videos. And maybe diversifying some skill sets as well. But while you're working that 9 to 5, there's nothing wrong with wanting some sense of security. Security is how you plan for your future. This is how you do projections for retirement savings. This is how you save up for a mortgage and or pay off that mortgage. And this is how generally most corporations plan their life. So why should it be any different with yourself? Not everyone has the risk appetite to be an entrepreneur. And unless you pick the right type of entrepreneurship, it can be very costly in terms of time, money, and mental anguish. So just keep that in mind when balancing the stability yet sacrifice of freedom with a job and the flexibility and or freedom and risk of being an entrepreneur. It's a weighted balance. The third benefit of being a hard worker is you develop your skills faster in the same amount of time. This is just because whatever action you're doing, whether it's a trade or a profession, if you're more focused in on what you're actually doing in the moment, you're going to pick up more skills and retain more knowledge quicker than someone that's maybe just coasting along. Now, let me use an example from my own life. Throughout my early 20s, I was just drifting around. I worked in the trades for a while. I was a limo driver. I worked on film sets. I had no real direction. So in whatever industry I picked, when I transitioned, all those skills essentially reset. Now contrast that to my second half of my 20s, where I went back to school and got a business diploma. When I graduated and entered into the insurance industry, I was able to really focus in on my craft, and my life has gone exponentially better. Now let's go into the final part number 4. As you develop your skills, you have the ability to go into entrepreneurship significantly easier. In addition to needing skills from whatever service or offering you are going to give your customers, if you have experience being a hard worker, those long hours and setting up your business and doing all the administrative tasks related to being a business owner becomes a lot easier. Now, these 4 traits don't happen unless you put in hard work into your profession and or job. While quiet quitting can be a simple fix for the short term, in the long run, it's not going to lead anywhere, and you risk maybe potentially getting fired and or laid off in the next round. Hard work can hedge against the risk of getting laid off. It can lead to additional cash. you can hone your skills and potentially go into entrepreneurship. That's all I have for today. So if you have any questions or comments, please leave them down below and I'll get back to you soon. Thank you so much and have a great day. Bye bye.